Hello and welcome to the Contemporary Comrades podcast. It's your boy Heavy J, Sir Heaviness, whatever the hell you want to call me. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this Chris Cuomo, which is the New York State governor. He recently spoke in it's kind of like a COVID update, but he spoke at a church, a seemingly large church, and he made some points that were sort of interesting regarding COVID, his plans, and what he was going to do about COVID, and how he felt the response was from the United States government, et cetera, et cetera. Uh, excuse me. One thing that caught my attention was the fact that he said he wants to mobilize an army to get these vaccinations out to his New Yorkers because they deserve it, and they are going to have the best COVID response out of any state in the entire country. These are his words. So what I'm going to do is, since my internet sucks, I'm going to show you. I'm going to share my screen and show you all the article. Now, keep in mind, the article will also be linked in the description, as well as an article on Governor Cuomo from March of this year, where he pretty much did a similar thing. He mobilized the National Guard in order to set up, quarantine zones and things like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play you the clip. I'm gonna play you the audio, and I'm gonna show you the link at the same time. And then what we're gonna do is we'll have a little discussion about it. So yeah, let's do it. So like I said, here's the link. Um, yeah, it says here we'll mobilize an army to get vaccine to New Yorkers. I mean, it's a little bit of a sensationalized title. I mean, again, this is Fox 5 New York, but I think the video is worth more than where the video came from, if you will. So without further ado, like I said, links in the description if you guys want to check it out yourself. I'm going to play the audio for you.
Mobilize an army to vaccinate all New Yorkers fairly, equitably. No state will do it better. We have a vaccine on the way. Truly great news. But polls say 50% of the American people say they would not take the vaccine if it were available today because they don't trust the way this federal government has politicized the process. So New York and other states, 7 in total, will simultaneously review the vaccine approval with independent medical experts so people know it's safe. Private healthcare companies administer the vaccine, hospitals, big drugstores, doctors' offices, etc. It sounds fine, right? But hold on. We know that our Black, brown, and poorer communities have fewer healthcare institutions.
Here we go.
Their communities are too often healthcare deserts. That's why we have more underlying conditions, and that's why the COVID death toll is so high for Black and brown communities. The president talks about CVS and Walgreens and national chains. Sure, but they are mainly located in rich communities, not in poor communities. My friends, we can't compound the racial injustice that COVID already created. And let me be clear.
Wait, what?
The Black and brown communities that were first on the list of who died cannot be last on the list of who receives the vaccine, period. If the Trump administration does not change this plan and does not provide an equitable vaccine process, we will enforce our legal rights. We will bring legal action to protect New Yorkers. The state of New York will join with the Urban League and Mark Morial and Arthur Rice and the NAACP, Hazel Dukes and Derek Johnson, and we will fight to make sure every life is protected equally.
So let let me talk about this for a little bit. So what he said is he will mobilize an army so that vaccinations can be put out. What does this sound like to you? Do you all think that this is that is has undertones of forced vaccination in it, or do you think that that is just him basically saying, "Hey, look, I need to get the vaccines out. People are getting really sick. If need be, I'll call in the military. I've already done it before, right?" That's been his typical response to anything vaccine related, which is let's threaten litigation. Let's involve the military. Let's do all these extra things really to to get the vaccine out or to get people quarantined or tested or wherever the case may be. Now, keep in mind, New York was the first state to go back into a second lockdown, as far as I know, within I guess the last month and a half or so. Now, let's also remember that that there was a House Rule 2232, which was a national mandatory vaccination bill that was put before Congress in 2015. Yes, look it up. HR 2232. It's called National Mandatory Vaccination Bill. Um, again, like we always say on this podcast, this is nothing new. These people have been planning these things and you know letting all the stars align for years, decades, and in some cases even centuries. Not necessarily this case, but maybe because this is very similar to the Spanish flu. But anyway, one thing he also did that kind of got me was he was equating COVID to increasing basically racial discrimination. He's saying, "Oh, COVID has increased racial discrimination because it's affecting black and brown people, as he put it, more than white people or any other people." He's basically saying that it's a minority. He basically equated it to being a minority uh, focused disease or virus. Now I find that interesting because didn't it originate in China? And those people aren't black or brown. What about all the white people in Italy who are getting sick and dying? What about all the white people in all these other European countries that are mainly non-black and brown who are getting sick and dying at alarming rates? What about Spain? You see what I'm saying? So he's saying, but oh, in America, it only affects black and brown people because it's a racist virus from a racist president who wants to do racist things to not make sure the virus gets out in the public eye. Bullshit. It's bullshit. Um, to me, this is more SJW pandering, but in regards to his virus response, because he knows a lot of his citizens in New York feel that kind of way. They are very progressive. They vote very left leaning. And that side of things, or I guess that side of the political spectrum, has certain feelings, right? Just like the right side has certain feelings. And I think that he's using a poor example of, oh well, this is just this affects black and brown, you know, minority communities worse and differently. Granted, I will say this. I will say that yes, black and brown communities are more impoverished. Therefore, they aren't afforded the same kinds of, um, I guess they can't get the same kinds of things, right? Supposedly. So what are you supposed to do? Oh, the government's got to step in and give them everything. The government's got to step in and provide this for you, provide that for you, provide the third for you. And at some point, it's going to get to the point where the government's going to provide everything for you, and they're going to know everything about you, and they're going to control everything that you do. And this is just one step further to that. So I'm going to save myself a rant. I just wanted to make the video short. Again, check out the two links in the description. Uh, if you want to see some more about this. But let us know your thoughts in the comments, man. I posed a couple questions earlier. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Like I said, I have a lot more to say about this, but I'm gonna save it because I'm gonna see if we get some participation in the comments from you guys. So, like I said, it's Heavy J, Contemporary Comrades, Governor Cuomo on some shit again. Let us know what you think about this particular soundbite. Let us know what you think about COVID. Let us know what you think about, you know, lockdowns. Let us know what you think about all that stuff, man. But look, Heavy J, and I'm out.